Hello everybody, my name is Akash Mansukhani and I am an AI creator, and today we'll be learning how to create the spider world effect. My effect came in the top 50 in the Spark AI voice competition globally, and you can see a small clip of it to the side. And let's begin with the tutorial. Alright, so let's begin. First of all, so what all will we require for this tutorial? So we require a good internet connection, a working browser, and the Spark AI Studio app. The links to the Spark AI Studio app will be in the description, so you can download it. And I guess everyone has a working browser. So let's begin. So when we open Spark AI Studio, we'll be met with such kind of interface. So I'll quickly click on blank project and I'll maximize the window. And so the spider world effect was a world AR effect, which requires which means that it requires a back camera. And so in today's tutorial, we'll be creating something on the very similar lines, and it will be some kind of game or something. So I'll quickly click on video, and I'll click on this 8th video one. So this is kind of a world simulation, and if I click and drag, I can look around in the world. So let's begin. So I'll be right clicking on camera, and then I'll add object and a plane tracker. A plane tracker is basically tracking a plane. The plane in our situation is the floor. And once I have the plane tracker, I'll add an object. I'll add a null object. The null object is basically a folder in which you keep. It's something like a folder in which you keep photos and videos, but in this case, we'll be keeping planes and lights and 3D objects. So I'll quickly just press W so that the gray screen goes away, and I'll click on workspace and I'll click on show patch editor. So we'll be using patch editor in this extensively. I'll click on asset library. I'll go on blocks and I'll search for joystick. And here we can see joystick 3. This is the version 3 of the joystick, and I'll click on import for free. Once that has been done, I'll close this window, and here we can see blocks. We have a joystick block. I can drag it in the focal distance, not in the camera, in the focal distance. So once we have this, we will click on device and I'll drag and drop this here, and here we can see the screen size, and I'll click on joystick and I'll click on the screen size, and we'll just simply attach these two. So basically we are providing joystick with the information that what is the screen size. Once we have done that, I click on simulate touch. These three buttons are there. I simply click on it and I'll select simulate touch. And here we can see that there is a joystick, but it's white in color. So let's quickly change this color. Here we can see this color, and for now let's make it let's make it this color. So now when I click and drag, this is the color of the joystick. So I click on joystick and I drag and drop it. Once that's been done, here we can see that it has multiple outputs, and we'll be using the outputs on a null object. We can use it on a 3D object directly, but I prefer this method as it gives me more flexibility. So once I have the null object here, I cannot see it in the scene because it's like a blank folder. So it has got no images, no videos in it. So I click on position, I'll click on rotation. So we'll be changing the rotation and the position of the null object. And here we can see we have X, Y, angle and magnitude. So what we'll be doing is feeding this information to the position and the rotation of the null object. So click on X and I'll type pack, and I'll type Y, and then putting it in the Z axis, and here we can see the position. So here you can see from the left or right, this thing is moving. but when I'm going forward it's going backwards, which we do not want. So I'll click on negate, and now, yeah, now when I'm going forward it's going forward. So here we can see I'm going forward, it's going forward, left, right, and it's moving, but it's coming back to its place when I'm releasing it. So I don't think so I want that. So let's add an add patch and a delay value, and let's quickly make the receiver for this. Make receiver. So now it's working properly. Now it's moving a lot. So let's reduce its movement a little bit. I'll add a multiplier. So now I'm currently multiplying it by 1, but it's moving a lot. So we need to reduce this number. So I'll click on delta time and I'll quickly connect it. And now it's much more better. But it kind of seems to be a little non-reactive. So let's add magnitude and a multiply patch. So we'll be multiplying this value to this. So this seems a little bit more reactive. So what I just did is the magnitude output of this is basically when I drag this, so this is 1, and when it's inside the circle the magnitude will vary from 0 to 1. Here it is 0 and here it is 1. So once we have done everything with the position, let's focus on the rotation. So here we have the angle, and we need to change the angle of the null object. So the null object's angle will be changing in the y axis. So I click on the angle and I click on swivel, and I'll just quickly type 0, x and 0. So basically I'm taking the value of the angle and be putting it in the y instead of x and z. Once that has been done, here we can see that the null object is rotating. Now let's put something in the null object. This seems so empty. So I go on my Google Chrome and I search for Sketchfab. Let's type something. We need something which is downloadable. So I'll search for, let's say, CuteCat, and let's look for something which is animated. Cute cat and a banana. Open in a new tab. Yeah, this seems to be a very nice model for us. It will be something new for me, making something cute, and we require something else, maybe a ghost. I like this paw, so let's select this paw. Good enough for us. I'll just click on download 3D model and I'll click on the GLTF and click download. And same with the cute cat, download 3D model, GLTF. So once this has been done, I have these downloads here and I'll just extract them. and then quickly drag them and drop them into the Spark AR Assets panel. Here we can see we have a cute paw, and let's drag and drop the cute cat also. And we have the cute cat. So let's take the cute cat and drop it in the null object. I don't see where is the cute cat. Oh, it's above. So we'll have to do some displacement. Not displacement, basically translations will be moving it down. Let's see. Yeah. So then the default value has been altered. Now it's on the ground. It's not completely on the ground, it's still floating a little bit. Yeah. So we need to play with that. So first I think so this fruit cat is a little too big for our scene. So let's make it small. I'll click on this icon, which is the scale icon, and I'll just make it small. Cat is now small. And now let's compensate the floatingness. So I'll be clicking, and you can actually use any of these, but I'll be clicking on the root and then just eyeballing it so that it looks that it's on the plane. Yep, looks good enough. Click on cute cat, and I click on animation, and I click on create new animation controller, and here we can see that the cat is walking. So once that has been made, let's make sure that it's walking in the right direction. No, it's walking sideways. So we need to correct that. So we need to change the angle by, I guess, 90 degrees. 90 degrees or minus 90 degrees. We'll have to find that out. Click on angle and click on add, and let's add 90 degrees. Yep, works properly now. Now what we need is that when we are not playing with the cat, we need the cat to stop walking. And we also should make it a little bit reactive to the magnitude, so that when it has been reached to its maximum limit, it's the fastest, and the slowest when it's inside the circle. So you can do that. So I click on cute cat in a cute banana, and I click on this animation. I drag and drop it here. This is the animation asset, and here we can see that its duration is 3.33 seconds. So I'll just drag and drop this into the blank space, and I'll search for animation, and I'll click on animation player, and here we can see there's a progress bar. So let's make a looping animation. So I'll just simply search for looping. Where did it go? And here we can just click on progress, and here we can see that it's running a little faster because the duration is 1 now instead of 3.33. No, oh yeah, we haven't yet connected this animation. Restart and play. Yeah, so here it's running properly, and when it's at 1 it's running very fast. Looks good to me. and now we need to make it reactive to the magnitude. So I click on, let's say, divide, because we need to, yeah, when the magnitude is 0, we need the duration to be infinite. So dividing anything by 0 is infinity. So by default its speed is 3.33, and the magnitude and the duration. So now it has stopped. This is a little too slow for my taste. So let's make it 2 seconds. Yeah, looks good to me. It still does not feel like it's walking. It's kind of skipping and gliding. Yeah, this feels much better, as if it's literally walking. So let's keep it at 1 second for now. Looks a little comical, but okay. So once we have this set, here we can see that our character is walking here and there. And let's use our other 3D model, which is the cute paw. So once, so let's create another null object in the plane tracker. I'll just rename this by double clicking this into the cat, and I'll add another null object and just name it paw. Once that has been done, let's quickly drag and drop. Let's not drag, yeah, let's drag and drop the cute paw. If it's too big, let's scale it down like we did it previously. Looks good, but now it's laying flat, so let's change its rotation. Now it's on the x-axis is 0, so let's move it up so that it's in line with the cat. So now what we want is that these paws will be floating all around the floor or this world, and we want the cat to go around the world and collect these paws. So let's let's say we can have that we have 4 or 5 paws that it can collect during one run, because people don't use the filter for more than 15 or 30 seconds usually. So I click on the cute paw, and here we have the position, and here we have the pause. So I think so this is a good place we can start to duplicate things. So let's go for 5 paws. So I just click on duplicate, and I'll repeat the process 4 more times. So here we have 4 paws and one more. So here we have 5 paws. So now we need to place them all around the world so that the cat can go there. So we can do that. They get placed in the world at the same position every time we reload the filter, or we can do that they are placed randomly. So let's go for the random one. So I'll just right click and click on random, and I'll just click on add patch, and here we have the random patch. Once that has been set, we can set the range. So basically we don't want the paw to be set like 15 meters away, 20 meters away. We want them to be close around this. So let's have a rough estimate that where can our paw be, and let's say our paw can be as far as z-axis -1, and in the x-axis it can be up to -0.56 to positive 0.56. Seems good enough for me. So let's go for start range 0.56 and the range -0.56. So this is the x, and this is the z. We need it to be around 0. We can go a little further. let's say 0.1. So I'll add another random, add back, start from 0.1 up till -1, -1.2, -1.2. Now that we have this set, we need to feed it to the position. So let's click on position, and we need to pack this. So pack. So here you can see that even though the position we need it to be randomized, it's still in the 0, 0 position. This is because we have not clicked on the randomize thing. So let's click on plane tracker, and I'll just drag and drop this here, and I'll right click and select screen tab, and I'll just select this. So in this way, if I want to simulate touch, and if I click here, so I can place things here and there. So if the plane has been found, so this will get randomized, right? Let's restart, and here we can see that it's in a random position. Let's restart again. It's in a random position. Where is this now? Let's simulate orbit. Yep, it's right here. So we are getting a random position, which is good enough. Yep. So this is getting randomized. We need to do this 5 more times, and luckily because we can duplicate things, it's not a hassle for us. Let's click on this, and I right click and I click on group. Once the group has been made, I'll just duplicate it by saying Control D, and the group has been duplicated. We need to do this more 4 times, no more 3 times. So Control D and Control D. So here we have 5 of these groups. I click on these wires and just simply delete them, because this is the one which matters for this paw. And now we have paw 1 then. So let's click on paw 0 and paw 3, and then click shift, and I click on position. So here we have paw 3, 2, 1 and 0, and let's quickly connect these to these groups. And now I click on restart, and here we can see that the paws are everywhere. So they are in the random position every time we start this. And once we have the scene, let's see if the cat can still walk. Yep, it can walk. But now, how do we detect where the cat has to be? So let's say the cat has gone to this paw. Where is it? Yeah, so this paw. So this paw should disappear or appear somewhere else, something on those bases. This is a bug in which the cat will keep walking. So you just have to quickly press on restart. Yeah, and the simulate orbit, and here we can see we have the 5 paws displaced all around the place. So simulate touch again. So now if the cat's position is equal to or same as the position of the paw should disappear. So we have to create the logic for that. So I right click and distance, and we have this patch here. We have the same problem with the 3. Click on number, and let's make it vector 3. So the distance between the cute cat and let's say the paw 1 is less than 0, no, less than 0.1. So we'll add a less than, and 0.0, no, 0.1, and if that is less than 0.1, we need a switch to turn off the paw, and I click on the paw and the visibility, and I'll just simply connect this and restart. The paw is visible. So let's walk to, where's the paw 0? Now see, where is it? Yep, the paw was there, and now it has become invisible. So here we have created a simple patch. I need to do the same for the other four paws. Other thing that which we can do is simply randomize it again, so that once you reach the paw's position will change. We can do that also. Let's try that. So on the lesson, and let's add a pulse merge. So you can see that there's a pulse and there's a pulse. We need to merge the output of both of them. So let's add pulse and pulse and input. There's a problem. Alright, so basically we will be creating a loop. So that's the problem here. Passes and being connected multiple times in a loop. Yep. So we can, yeah, we can still do the thing. So I'll click on asset library, I'll click on blocks, and I'll search for loop. For game Antiloop block, I'll just click on it and I'll import for free. Once the patch has been imported, let's close this. And here we have the Antiloop block. Let's drag and drop this in the focal distance, and I'll drag and drop this here. And let's add the input here. So we need to put the input inside here and the output over here. For now, let's make all the other paws invisible, and I'll restart the game and let's play. So, oh yeah, we need to remove this. Yep. So this is working. The cat went. Yeah. I think the cat speed is a little too high. The logic is working perfectly. Mhm. So let's reduce the speed of the cat a little bit. I'll add another multiply and let's make it half. So multiply by 0.5. You can also use the divide patch here, divide by 2. So that will make it half. And yeah, now it walks. Now it's walking, it's become a little more finicky. So let's play with the values a little bit. Yeah, this seems to be yep, this seems to be good enough. Yeah, I can control the cat comfortably now. So here we can see that we have created this logic, and what we can do is every time this detects this, we can add a counter, like we can have a score. So let's do that later. Let's do the same for the other four paws. Once that has been done, we need to do the distance thing, and we need to duplicate the looping path also. So this will be something on this basis. Actually, we can easily duplicate this part. We need to please disconnect this and Control D. So this is duplicating it. Yeah, and now let's quickly connect the proper outputs. Yep, looks good. And now we need to run the patches in the anti-loop block. So we'll have to drag and drop this four more times. So once we have done that, let's quickly make the other pause visible, and restart. And here we can see that the cat is now able to collect the paws and the paws are being relocated. So we could make a game out of this, like how many paws can you collect in like 15 seconds or 20 seconds, depends on your requirements. And the simple game has been made. So this is the basics, and I hope you found this tutorial informative. You You can add a scoring system, some more interactive UI, but this is the main base and core of it. Other decisions will be like the creative decisions. I am nobody to tell you what to do, and you can use your creativity and change the cat into paw. And I selected a few more 3D models for you guys to select. So like you can use like a zombie which is able to walk around. So you can see a walking zombie or a walking spear bot or maybe another spider. I also add another kind of machine and then all and then small ant. So the ant also has a walking animation. So when you select a 3D model, make sure that the model has a walking animation, or if it's a car, you can animate its wheels to rotate. So this is the basics of the tutorial. I will play around with it a little bit more, and I'll show you a small demo video once it is all completed.
2 days later.
Alright, so the filter has been completed, and here you can see that a big mess has been made. So let's go through all the changes which has been made in the past 2 days. So first of all, I named the filter as Banana Adventures, and the aim of the game is to collect as many paws as you can in the time limit of 10 seconds. And here's the instruction to hold and swipe to begin. So let's hold and swipe to begin, and here we can see that the banana cat is collecting the paws, and the paws are appearing somewhere else in the screen. Once the 10-second time limit is over, you are met with the score screen and the banana cat looping animation. And if I tap on the screen one more time, it will bring me back to the loading screen, which was the beginning screen. So you can play the game again without restarting the filter. And we know that people generally use the front camera more on Instagram. So by default, the front camera is active. So if the front camera is active, they will be met with this kind of a screen, which will instruct them to switch camera to place it on a surface. And once the back camera has been activated, this is the screen which they will see. And I've added a few speakers. The role of the speakers is to switch the music. So there is a loading music. Once the game has been played, there's another music. And I would suggest you to not use too many lengthy sounds as they add up to the file size. There you can see that the file size is 2 MB and about 1 MB has been dedicated towards audio itself. So let's go through the changes. One of the most apparent changes is the loading screen. This loading screen, rather the beginning screen, is simple just planes. These are all the simple planes which have been added, which are changing their position with respect to time. So let me click on position, and here we can see that here an animation is being connected to the instruction, which is this. And once the animation is being triggered by the front camera, this will go up. So let me click on front camera and this will go up. And same, once I switch to back camera again, the pulse will turn off and it will again come to its main position. So the same thing has been done to all of these elements and the end screen too. And the main core thing, the main core of the game is just the same. So let's say that I want to test this filter on my phone. I completed it in Spark AI Studio. So first of all, I'll save this, and the small star which was on top here will disappear. I'll click on test on device, and here we can see that there is no experiences type added. So let's add an experience. For this, we would require a sharing experience. You can read what has been written here, but we would require sharing experience. We basically want Instagram. We won't be able to use camera and existing media, as existing media requires you to not have music and screen tap functions. So let's click on done, and I'll click on send. So what this is doing is uploading it to Spark AR Hub, and your Instagram account needs to be linked with your Facebook account for this to work. Once that has been done, this filter will be sent to your Instagram and you will get a notification. So let's wait for this to happen. Alright, so here we can see that we are sent a notification on Instagram. Let's open the app to test your effect. So I'll just open Instagram on my laptop itself. And here we can see that try preview.ar export by my username, and if I just click on it once, I'll be able to open it on my phone. Let me click on continue and I'll wait for it to load. So the filter has been loaded now, and I'll just switch. And now we can play again. So the filter is working perfectly fine on our Instagram, and let's publish this. So if I want to publish this on my Instagram for others to use, I click on publish. Let's publish a new effect, and let's make sure that the file sizes meet the requirements. So what this means is that we have imported this all of these 3D models, and these models sometimes come with textures. So these textures need to be compressed. By default, they will be on automatic, and here we can see that their download size is 10 kilobytes. I have kept it on manual. It does not matter much, but if your file size is above, let's say, 2 MB, you could go into manual and you could choose PNG or JPG. So if you have a transparent texture, you would have to choose PNG. Otherwise, you could go for JPG. And I have done the same with all the other textures required for the banana cat. So let's publish. I click on publish again, and let's click on upload. This will be uploaded to the Spark AI Hub, and we will be greeted with a new tab which will tell us what to do. So here you can give your effect a unique name. You can make it link only. For example, you want to send this to, let's say, one or two people for them to check it out and give suggestions or suggest any changes or something. You could do a link only and send the link to that person through Instagram or WhatsApp, whatever. You could choose what your category is. For example, this is games, this is into world AR. So you can choose up to 4 categories and keywords. So one more main thing which we will require is to upload the demo file. So you could, as we tested before, that we could send this to your Instagram for some testing, and you could also record that. You could save that recording and just upload it here. You could choose a thumbnail or upload another image. So the thumbnail will be chosen from the video recording which you have uploaded, or you can make your own thumbnail in Photoshop, and it's as simple as that, and just hit submit. Mostly they will accept the filter within 4 or 5 hours, but sometimes it would also take up to a day. Alright, so this is the entire process which you would go through if you want to create a filter. The links to Spark AI Studio, all the 3D models used in this effect, as well as the few 3D models which I showed previously, will be in the description. And if you have any other questions, or like if you want to talk, or if you want some suggestions, you can drop me a DM on my Instagram, which is @extrakash, or you could drop a comment down on this video. Thank you for watching.